The horror comedy Cocaine Bear, this was a funny film to say the least. I went in this with low expectations and I'm kind of glad that I did because this turned into one of the most entertaining comedies to come out early this year. And I must say, if you haven't seen this film, check it out because it is quite the thrill ride. Well, this movie was a pleasant surprise. So, directed by Elizabeth Banks, this film is based on the true story of an actual cocaine bear that took place in 1985. Though the story of this one is greatly exaggerated, as the bear in this film goes on a rampage, kills a couple of people, and from there is a movie I had enjoyed quite a bit. There is so many things that goes on in this film that just makes it a comedy that you could look at and have a fun time with. And I was glad they didn't go the PG-13 route because with PG-13 rating, then this movie wouldn't have been as hilarious as it ended up being. One thing I will say though is that it's interesting they didn't go the serious route because I really felt like it was a missed opportunity considering this one could have been a straight up horror movie, but I get why they went this route because it is a wider appeal to a larger audience. At the end of the day though, while this is not a perfect movie, it still is very entertaining and very hilarious as well. Now I do admit I did laugh quite a bit watching this movie. And it's not just the absurd moments, it's a mere fact they probably could turn this into a serious film, but it was an all laugh out loud comedy. One thing that I had a negative opinion about this film is the mere fact there are so many storylines. We have O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s character with his best friend. You know, they go on a little adventure. There is a local detective trying to find the drug dealers. There's a park ranger. There is the character of the late Ray Liotta. You know, he has his own plot line. And, you know, there's also the two young kids who I actually thought did a good job. You know, those two child actors. And, you know, it's so many storylines stuffed into one, and the movie suffers a little bit because of that. Particularly the bear itself and how high it is on this drug and, you know, all this chaos goes about. And, you know, because of that, I felt like the movie probably could have been a little bit longer. It's only 95 minutes. And, you know, that's not a whole lot of time to flesh out all these characters. There is a lot going on. Now, despite that, I still like the movie for what it is. I had a good time. I was entertained. But overall, I just wish there wasn't so many characters. It's not a bad thing, but a lot of these characters really didn't get a whole lot of backstory. And I noticed that all throughout when I was watching this film. But overall, you know, this film, it could have been a little bit better. I don't think this is a dumpster fire. I don't think it's terrible. It's a average movie, to say the least. And you know, sometimes that could be a good thing. This film wasn't meant to be taken seriously. But at the end of the day, I just want a little bit more from this one. I don't give this film a 7 out of 10. Yeah, a pretty decent movie in my opinion. Despite all the plot lines, the acting was decent. And when I saw the trailer to this movie last year, I was saying, alright, I'm hoping this is not going to be a downright disaster. But thankfully that did not happen. This film does enough to keep it enjoyable and one of the most interesting movies so far this year. And that is my review of the film Cocaine Bear. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie if you have seen it. Okay, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.